and welcome back to the second David 67 Celtic News video of the day. Today's second video going to be a preview of Celtic women's match tomorrow against Spartans, 2 o'clock at the Excelsior. So this will be Celtic's women's side's last home game of 2023. Celtic of course, go into this match just after the international break. 7 players returned from international break, all apparently fit, although the 2 Shens will have come back a wee bit later than the others, as they had games on Wednesday against America, and so will have had less time to get back into training with the other players. Of course, Celtic's women's side, just before the international break, had that stupendous 13-0 win over Aberdeen Ladies, which was an absolutely excellent performance. Celtic, as I say, going into this first game back after the international break, quite a number of players did well on the international break. Caitlin Hayes had 2 games for the Republic of Ireland, scoring 1 goal, and her team qualified through the UEFA competition with a 100% record, which was excellent. Amy Gallacher did play 1 substitute appearance for Scotland in their A division group with Belgium, Holland and England. She played late on against Belgium but was unable to score the goal that would have been the winner, and she wasn't even given a chance to play as a starter or off the bench against England in a humiliating 6-0 loss. And it was rather disappointing, given how well Celtic have been playing in the Scottish Women's Premier League, that Amy was the only player in the Scotland squad. We thought that with the excellent form of players such as Chloe Craig, Natalie Ross, Jenny Smith, Colette Cavanagh, that they all would have been in the squad. However, only Colette Cavanagh and Jenny Smith were away with the under-23 squad, and Amy was the only one in the full squad. Hopefully, over the next season or 2, there'll be a transition away from the old guard of Scottish women's football, with a lot of the newer, younger players, primarily the ones playing for Celtic and Rangers, getting into this team and into the squad alongside the other women's players who are playing in the bigger leagues, such as Evan Cuthbert, who's at Chelsea, and Caroline Weir, who's at Real Madrid, although she's injured at the moment. Shen Menglu and Shen Mengyu both played for China in friendlies against America, with Shen Menglu making her first start for China and Shen Mengyu scoring a goal for China in one of those friendlies. Noor Amani Adi played both games for Morocco, and so Celtic have a clean bill of health regarding all those players. Also, Maria McInerney and Celia Barclay will both now be back to full fitness and available for selection rather than being coming off the bench. And so only the disappointment of Kit Loferski remaining out for the rest of this year remains, along with the long-term absence of the Argentinian Luana Munoz, who's off with surgery, having had an anterior cruciate injury. So Celtic go into the game on Sunday against Spartans full of confidence, full of excellent form, a practically full squad, and I think Celtic's women's side will have a very comfortable win on Sunday against Spartans. We beat them 5-0 away in August, and I can easily see that result being replicated on Sunday, if not even doubled. Although Spartans are one of the teams in the Scottish Women's Premier League who on their day can give the best a run for their money. However, I think a comfortable win for Celtic in their last home game of 2023 will be very much on the cards. As always, key players will be our back three of Kelly Clark, Caitlin Hayes and Chloe Craig, both defensively, but also they set up so much of the play. Celtic's got good wide players, good strong central midfielders with the ability to have a couple of our better players on the bench to come on late in the game. And the double goal threat of Amy Gallacher and the ever-improving Murphy Agnew, who is currently deputising for Kit Loferski. Murphy Agnew quite not got the pace of Kit Loferski, not quite got the finishing skills of Kit Loferski, but very, very good at linking the play, very, very good at setting up chances, and as she proved against Aberdeen, scored a nice hat-trick as well. And I think she's been very much one of the surprise players of this season. Other piece of interesting and slightly surprising news is that Celtic women's team manager Fran Alonso appears very likely on his way out. He is being courted by Monterrey, who are one of the top Mexican teams. It is rumoured that Alonso has been frustrated at a lack of budget for the women's side, which I do find a little bit surprising given the fact that Celtic are one of the few full-time professional teams in the Scottish Women's Premier League. We have a good squad drawn from all over the world. We've brought in several very good players this season, such as Murphy Agnew, Kelsey Docherty, Nuramini Adi. We've got Paula Partido on loan from Real Madrid. We've added Celia Barclay, who is a very talented young French player. Luana Munoz came in at the start of the season, unfortunately getting injured and out for the whole of this season. And in recent press interviews, Alonso was talking about the fact that there was a budget to sign an additional striker to go alongside the main three of Agnew, Loferski and Gallacher, when usually Celtic play two up front week in, week out, with one on the bench. And the feeling was that given that the additional backup strikers are all teenagers, that it would be good to add an experienced striker to the mix. And so it doesn't appear like there's any significant lack of budget going to the women's team. And I do find it surprising that if that's the reason that Alonso is giving for leaving the club, it would be disappointing. If he is saying that he would prefer to move back to a culture that and a Spanish speaking club, entirely reasonable. But we will need to see whether he does leave, and also what Celtic's options are in replacing him, although there are a number of good candidates in and around the women's game with previous Celtic links, and several who have managed at the highest level in the women's game. And so if Alonso was to leave in the next week or two, I think Celtic would be well served and perfectly well looked after. And I think Celtic could recruit a high-level replacement quite easily if required. So, just about finishes things off for today's women's team video. I'll do a short women's team match reaction on Monday. I'm fully sure that on Monday I'll be relaying a nice comfortable win for Celtic. Hopefully it takes Celtic back top of the table, although it's highly likely Rangers women will beat Motherwell on Sunday also. However, keeping the gap down to 1 point, obviously, will be very important, leading into some very important fixtures in January, with games against Glasgow City in the League Cup, and later fixtures against Rangers and Glasgow City in the league, before the split in the league in the spring, which will decide who wins the title this year. So, thanks for listening, thanks for watching. Chat again on Monday. Goodbye, and hail, hail.